So today we are here in the studio again. Thank you for filming, Serge, and thanks for being here, Matt. So I guess this is another kind of technical setup video. The first one I did was a setup video at my friend Warren's house, where I recorded Navigator, and that was really fun. And Warren got to film that. I will have that edited soon. Maybe it's on. I don't know. Anyways, this is a second setup video. So we're in the space, Studio B8. This is called Ratmachine. Ratmachine Audio. So here we have the fridge. You know, this is like where we keep the beer and I don't know, some kind of random protein shakes that don't really get drank. Maybe some coconut water. Hey, you know what? How about that? This is kind of a dented can, but I should have shaken it first. There we go. So this is kind of like where all the things go that don't get used. Oh, here's the corpse. Steve made that. I got my gas mask that's really handy right there. A bunch of broken stuff. And these are the really, really gross coveralls. You know what? Just for fun and games. We use these coveralls to mop up any spills on the ground, so they smell really bad. So I'll just put this on and give you the rest of the rundown. All right. Here we have Matt and the couch. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work if you do go sideways. There we go.
Don't put it sideways, jerk.
So yeah, we have the couch. It's kind of where we chill. Check this out. This is my input setup sheet. Whoa, lots of info on there.
Piece of paper with numbers and letters and stuff.
Lots of info on there. I needed that. That's okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's like the table where I put all the stuff that is old or done with. You know, whatever. And my coconut water from the discount store. Yeah, so anyway, so it's kind of a little more technical. Instead of beating around the bush here. Wait, first, today my menu of coffee was 2 espressos and a regular coffee, which I don't think I finished yet. Yeah, I did. Somehow, I don't know. Anyways, just stuff gets drank around here. So here we have kind of like where everything, the brain, I guess, where everything happens. I have this cool little recording mixer here. It's a Soundcraft Compact 4. I don't know. It's kind of everything's routed really weird because I'm limited with my inputs and outputs. So you know, I got this cool insert right here. I have an option for a second one, and I have this sort of makeshift patch bay set up right here. Check out down here. I have the send and return for my insert coming here, so I can easily patch it, send it out of my insert into my compressor, out of my compressor into my delay, out of my delay into my reverb. Now for my reverb back home, kind of like a studio style patch job, but with 1/4-inch tip-ring sleeve cables. It works. I think it's kind of cool. I'd even use it for live. But I'm recording 10 inputs on drums, and the way it kind of works is I'm using the Babyface. Interface, which has capabilities to use 2 microphone inputs, which have phantom power on those, which I'm definitely using for my overheads. No, this is the Babyface right here. This thing's good. I also have the RME HDSPE AIO, pretty much the same thing, it's just a PCI Express card version of this. I'm happy with the RME stuff. I've tried a lot of other stuff in the past and it was all crap. So anyways, that's my spiel on my interflection. So what I have going, I have the Focusrite preamp going into my RME interface with the optical input. So I have 2 mics on phantom power, which are my overheads for drums, and then I have another 8 mics with this rack preamp, which is really cool. It has, like, you know, individual compressors on it and everything. That's really awesome. So I have overhead left, overhead right, and then I have kick, sub kick, snare, and I have drum triggers for my kick drum, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, and a hi-hat mic, which I could probably turn into a second tom mic if I wanted to, and I would like to, but I broke that mic. So if anybody knows how to fix, I guess, because I broke one of the pins off of the mini XLR jack on it, so I can't use it, so I gotta try and rewire it or something, make another input, blah, 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 whatever. So here I have 2 cool units. I got them pretty cheap through a colleague at work. I got a BSS 4-channel DPR 404 comp, and I got the noise gate companion to that. These are really nice. I use them for vocals. No problems. Actually, you know what? This one probably, I think, right over here, this one, I think I blew a capacitor. So yes, I have to fix it. And yes, there are problems. Over here, I have my cool D2 delay. This is pretty standard in a lot of studios and like whatever, sure, people use it. Over here, this thing's kind of cool. I got this off a colleague at work too for really cheap. It's a 2 stereo Lexicon reverbs. They're from 1988. I was having some issues with getting a proper power supply connection to them, but it seems like they're working, and I did a bunch of tests on them today, and they seem like they're okay. Anyways, this is kind of my setup. Oh, down here I kind of have this cool Omni drive, which is supposed to be used for live. It's a nice, sort of like in 90s or 80s analog crossover. There's probably some digital in there too, but it's pretty cool. It works really well. Yeah, so kind of what we're doing in the space sound-wise. Check this out. I can pull this rack thing out with no problem, and if you look back there, I kind of have this umbilical cord set up. So it kind of gives me some leeway to say, oh, you know, I want to turn this way or that way, which is really, really important to set up. Jeez. And obviously you can see my computer, you know, sure, it's a Mac. PC would probably be really crappy. And back there I got some just random PV amps to power the house PA. So over here, as you can kind of see, there's the snake, and that's kind of feeding into around there to the other side into all the inputs of my my recording devices, my interfaces. It's going around the corner. Good, very thorough filming search, I must add. But yeah, check this out. So what the heck happened here? Whoa. No, my foot didn't go. Well, yes, it did, but one of my close friends, one of my bandmates, accidentally was trying to push this back, and he poked his guitar headstock through the driver, so we had to get it fixed. I felt really bad. He felt really bad. It's kind of an unfortunate expense, but it is being repaired soon. And if you want to know what the inside of an angle station cab looks like, you can check it out. These drivers are, I'm pretty sure they're discontinued. It's loaded with 2 Celestion V1260s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're discontinued. That's what the Recone dude said. But at least he was able to find some sort of Recone job for that. Anyways, this amp, it sounds really kick-ass, but I've had a ton of problems with it. First time I bought it, I had to bring it back to the store, and I told them, I was like, hey, I'm getting these kind of weird, fuzzy, kind of crackle pop sounds, and they're like, oh, it must be the pre-tubes. So then I, take it in, and then he says he fixed it, and then I brought it back, and it still was broken, which was kind of annoying. Too bad there's only one spot in Toronto that seems to be able to legally service these, which I think is unfortunate. Although in Richmond Hill, a place called Cosmo Music. Anyways, blah blah blah. This amp it sounds good, but it's kind of finicky. Invader 100 standard thing. I took the grill off because it was getting some kind of weird resonation sounds, so it just wasn't really nice. And what's missing here, I actually mic'd this up with 3 mics. I was using a C414 AKG, a D112 AKG, and a Sennheiser 421. So I was getting like a triple. I wanted to have options when I mix this. I wanted to have this kind of different sound than what I had the first time. So we used these mics. Well, I used these mics to sort of mic this up, and this is what the guitar sound. Once this driver comes back, I'm going to do some final tracking. I could probably get away with doing it now, but I prefer the continuity of a full quad cab. Anyways, check this amp out. My buddy Steve found this down in some cellar by his landlord, and I think he gave it to our bandmate Martin. And so Martin didn't have an amp, so now Martin has this really sick vintage PV amp. I think it's vintage, 65 watt, perfect for a dual 212 cab. It has a very kind of sludgy, bassy sound, and I took it home and I actually took the amp apart. I put deoxide in put the fader deoxide in all these faders, and cleaned all the connections. Dusted everything out with an air compressor, and brought it back, and it's good as new. Well, and then Martin kind of refinished the outside. I think this is a pretty awesome amp. It's a cool find. It's kind of interesting how synchronistic that was. But anyways, as I sweat into this gross coverall, I'm going to just kind of do that. So right now in the recording, pretty much none of the final tracking has happened. I've been in here every day for 5, 6, 7 hours a day playing drums, trying to get the perfect parts, well, as close to perfect as I can get, because perfection is impossible. I want to be able to listen back to this track and know the quality. I want to know if I show this to somebody, they're going to think, wow, this is way not what I'd expect, but wow, I can't believe you went there. And I was like, yeah, that's right, I did go there. So yeah, I got like 10 inputs on the drums. I got 2 overheads. I was having poor quality. I was having not too good of a time doing the spaced pair overheads thing. So I decided to go back to the XY, and I prefer it. I think it has a better sound altogether, and I think it covers more of the kit. That's kind of what I want. And like I said, had I have, well, it's a combination of me accidentally buying the wrong size drum head, so I could probably go back to the store, but Lomnaquade's kind of far away, and it's kind of out of the way. Like I needed to get a new drum head, otherwise I'd have, if I got the new drum head, I would have a 4th tom, but I don't have a matching drum head. So I figured, you know what, forget it. I'll just work with 3 toms, considering I have 3 functional mics. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm pretty much using the same everything I normally use. I just broke another cymbal. I've broken 2 cymbals this time. I've broken a lot of drumsticks, and the expenses of recording are there's a lot involved. Lots of stuff breaks. Lots of stuff has to get fixed. Lots of time spent. It's an endless thing, and it's constantly practicing for that perfect take, for that perfect moment where everything lines up and you listen back to it and everything couples and all the delay is perfect. You get that crushing feeling, and it doesn't even really need that much mixing. You can just rough mix it and you can show someone that's the raw sound. That's how it's supposed to be. That's kind of what this project is all about. So over here we have the guitar I'm using for pretty much all the recording. So here we have the Schecter. This is a relatively new guitar. This is my only 7th string that I have, my first 7th string. I'm really happy with it. I made this strap out of a broken load strap I pulled out of the garbage at the live sound company I was working for 6 months. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I like it. It's really sturdy.
Now let's take a closer look at that strap.
Check it out. I used dental floss to sew it together, just like I used to do with my other cool traveling pants. It actually really works well, and you can, at the end, you can kind of see that little brown mark. That little brown mark right there. You take as a lighter at the very end, you burn it, and it melts. The wax kind of takes flight, and you just press it down with a lighter, and then it's really sturdy. Over here, you can kind of see I did that twice. Good old load strap. If anybody wants one, they can hire me to make one. It takes a bunch of time, or I can show you how to do it yourself. I probably won't have time to show you how to do it yourself, but you can probably get the idea. It's not that hard. So what do we have? What else do we have? We have, there's a lot of cool paintings around here. My artist friend Steve Griffith painted a lot of really good stuff. Over there, that's I'm not sure exactly the name, but it's something, I think if I would call that anything, it'd be the Path of Destiny. Let me see what else. Over here, we have the original Navigator painting. Steve Griffith. And over here, check this out. Any zombie fans? Look at that. Some dude wielding an axe killing a bunch of zombies at night in the graveyard. Doesn't get much better than that. Look at that guy. That guy reminds me of Doom, which I'm a huge fan of, arbitrarily. So, as we kind of continue around, this bass amp, there's a story behind this bass amp. This bass amp, there was a time when I had way too many things. There was a time when I had way too many things and I had to give some stuff away. So I gave this bass amp away, and then it's gone. And then I find a live sound company, and I kind of knew them through work, through other colleagues and stuff. And I get hired there, and then I find that I see this bass amp in their sort of storage area. I'm thinking, what the heck? Why do they have that bass amp. What happened? And they said, oh, some people found some of our gear in a storage space, and they had our name on it, so they called us up and they said, oh, we have some of your stuff. Do you want it? Because we don't. I said, oh, okay, sure, bring it over. And it wasn't really a lot of stuff. It was an old bass amp. It was a couple cases I bought from them, which I gave away, which they gave back to me because I did buy them. Anyways, this bass amp, I gave it away. It was there's a story behind it. My uncle's brother, my uncle in the 80s had a brother. I'm not sure exactly what the year was, 70s or 80s, but him and his brother, they had a fun band. They were playing guitar and bass, and they were in a band together. Both brothers, and they had an accident, and they got in a car drunk, and then they crashed, and his brother died. My uncle's brother died. So I never met him, but that was his amp. And my uncle lent me his Kramer guitar, which is what I recorded Fade with. He lent me his guitar, and then he gave me this bass amp years later. And my bassist in my first band, Silent Earth, blew the amp. He was playing a 7-string bass, and he overloaded it, blew both fuses, and he blew the driver. So I'm holding onto this amp, and I'm thinking, well, I don't play bass. I'm not really that into bass, so I ended up giving it away with a blown driver. So anyways, I find out this live sound company, get it back, fix the driver. I put in, what did I put in? An Eminence Legend. I had a bandmate tell me about this driver, an Eminence Legend, and my friend Cam, actually, a good friend of mine. Haven't seen him in a while, but hope he's doing well. He told me to get that driver, so I put the driver in, had some difficulties getting it in, finally got it in, finally works, and it's an awesome amp. So I may or may not use this for recording bass. I probably will. I'm not sure how I'm going to mic it. I'm definitely going to take the line out of the back. Might do some kind of room mic or some kind of distant mic or something, but something I want to capture the bass frequencies properly. So anyways, it's kind of a cool bass. It's so old it just says bass. Yeah, the Yamaha bass amp. I think it's 115 watts. And what can I say? This has been a fun video, and thank you, Matt and Serge, for hanging out with me and helping me film this video. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Yum.
Boom.
I touched a polar bear once.
You did?